When a massive, highly funded digital transformation deployment fails, it rarely happens quietly. Executives often treat enterprise scalability strictly as a cloud or software-defined networking challenge, but high-level applications will inevitably stall if the raw signaling physics at the network space cannot sustain modern traffic demands. To understand why, we look to the OSI reference model, the architectural blueprint for all network communications. This diagram shows the OSI reference model. Our focus belongs at the absolute bottom, Layer 1, the physical layer. Layer 1 is where the literal signaling of ones and zeros occurs over raw transmission media. The core metric here is availability. This means ensuring continuous, uninterrupted physical link access and uptime. Moving one step up the stack brings us to Layer 2, the data link layer. Think of Layer 2 as the structural envelope. It takes those raw, volatile electrical or light signals and organizes them into readable, sequential frames. Here, the core metric is integrity, the absolute guarantee that the bits arrived at their destination exactly as they were sent. Software performance is ultimately dependent on these foundational layers. If Layer 1 availability and Layer 2 integrity fail, the higher-level applications lack the stable environment required to process their own logic. Local network reliability is governed by the IEEE 802.3 standard, universally known as Ethernet. To protect vulnerable data payloads, Ethernet dictates a rigid structural layout for data link frames. This schematic illustrates that exact IEEE 802.3 frame format. Look at the frame's leading edge, the preamble. The preamble's sole function is to synchronize hardware timing between the sending and receiving devices before the actual data arrives. Following the preamble are the MAC address blocks. These media access control addresses permanently lock the communication path to the specific physical network interfaces of the sender and receiver. At the trailing edge of the frame, we find the FCS, which contains the CRC. The cyclic redundancy check is a strict mathematical checksum that evaluates the entire payload the moment it arrives. If external interference flips even a single bit during transit, the CRC catches the mathematical error and instantly drops the frame to prevent data corruption. This is why software often times out under heavy load. The application isn't necessarily broken, it is simply waiting for data that the CRC mechanism has already discarded due to physical interference. Translating the logic of the frame down to the physical cables carrying them turns network design into a constant battle against physics and capital expenditure. For horizontal workstation runs, architects rely on Unshielded Twisted Pair, or UTP, copper cabling. It is highly flexible and highly cost-effective. However, that cost efficiency comes with physical vulnerability to electromagnetic interference. Copper obeys rigid physics. As an electrical signal travels down the wire, it loses amplitude and degrades, forcing a hard operational boundary at exactly 100 meters. To bypass this limit, networks deploy optical fiber, which transmits pure laser light pulses through a glass core. Because it uses light instead of electricity, fiber is completely immune to electromagnetic interference that plagues copper lines, allowing it to cover vastly superior distances. Fiber comes in two variations. Multi-mode fiber features a wider core and is designed for vertical riser lines connecting different floors within a building. Single-mode fiber uses a tight laser focus to maintain signal strength over massive distances, achieving high-speed data center connections up to 40 kilometers. Selecting the wrong physical transmission medium for a specific distance creates an unfixable hardware bottleneck that permanently cripples your network capacity. To scale an enterprise network without causing catastrophic bottlenecks, architects rely on strict, structured wiring systems. This diagram illustrates a standard 3-floor implementation. The system organizes cables into manageable tiers, beginning with the work area segments, collectively known as the edge network. The edge network encompasses the final 100 meters, where desktop workstations and IP devices physically connect to access switches. At this specific edge, engineers deploy a critical hardware optimization, Power over Ethernet, or PoE. PoE injects low-voltage electricity directly into the UTP copper cable, delivering both the required data and the electrical power simultaneously. This single cable approach yields massive CapEx savings by eliminating the need to install dedicated electrical outlets for every ceiling camera or VoIP desk phone. While PoE solves immediate power and access requirements, it funnels a massive, continuous volume of data into the building that must be structurally managed to prevent system collapse. That traffic flows up to Tier 2, the building backbone. This diagram maps out a collapsed building backbone network. Multiple edge network switches are aggregated directly into a single high-speed central switch. This structure physically isolates local departmental traffic from the rest of the facility. By containing that traffic locally, the backbone prevents collision domains from echoing across the broader network and degrading overall performance. Zooming out reveals Tier 3, the campus backbone. This schematic displays how a central switch integrates into a larger server farm. The campus tier links distinct buildings together. To survive massive loads, architects scale Ethernet trunk speeds from 10 to 100 gigabits per second. Utilizing single-mode fiber for these backbone trunks effectively eliminates data choke points entirely. The system operates as a continuous physical chain, from a single electrical pulse, structured by an Ethernet frame, traveling through PoE-enabled edge copper, all the way up to a 100 gigabit fiber matrix. An enterprise digital strategy remains strictly bound by the physics of its wires and data frames. By establishing a rigid, hierarchical Layer 1 and 2 foundation, the network removes the physical bottlenecks that otherwise throttle application performance at scale.